Well, tubers, I got something else, and I'm fixing to make it into something else. So this is a trailer that's designed to be used. My understanding is it's like a winch system. That's the tensioner that they use on big transmission lines, like big overhead electric wires. And so this is like a big cat head. A rope wraps around this, comes around here, and spools up on a spool that sits here. And as I say, it's effectively like a big winch. All right, so what I'm doing here is, for the least amount of money possible and the least amount of effort possible, I want to cut this trailer up, use the hydraulics out of it, and to build a device that you can put a wooden spool on, have this thing power the spool, and go roll up used overhead electrical wire. I've been given a bunch of wire. I've got 2 days to get it out of there. This is Friday. I got to have it out by Monday. And I got to get this thing put together. I've also had several friends of mine and a couple electricians talk about the need for something like this, and I'd like to build it nice enough that it's something I could rent out if someone else needed it. I bought this from a friend of mine for $1,000. He bought it for $1,000 from Ritchie Brothers, and I actually got it to run. Let's go play with it, and then I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what we want to do. All right, so here this thing is. It's got a 2-cylinder liquid-cooled Kawasaki engine on it. I got it to run. It's got old gas in it. It needs some help, but it will start and run. This table goes up and down. It's even got an operator stand. What do you think of that? Anyway, it's got a hydrostatic forward and reverse. And it's got a 2-speed, low speed and high speed. So the underside of this is just a big sprocket. That's a hydraulic motor. And this thing is turning the little roller up thing out of whatever that did. So my plan here is that I want to unbolt this. We're going to cut all this off. We're going to take off all these pieces, take this guard off, torch this off about right here, possibly move the motor down. Basically all I got to do is torch out a new hole, bolt the motor down there, take this piece, flip it up, weld it right here, and then we're just going to build a device that basically bolts to this. It's a piece of pipe that comes across that you slide a spool on with some kind of thing to hold it. Make sense? Let's do it. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is we're going to take this piece that I cut off and roll it up and weld it down right here somewhere. We got to trim all this stuff off, got to cut this cylinder off. But the other thing that we've got to do, I'm just going to shorten this chain, and the chain is going to go from this sprocket to this sprocket. There's not going to be anything else. But what I need to do is I need to move this motor down a little bit. This is only, there's not quite enough room here to get a big enough spool. If we just move it from like here to here, that's going to make a big difference. I guess I'm going to get the forklift and pick this piece up, see if we can get it out of here, torch this off. I need to get the motor off, I guess. Oh, geez, come on. Oh, that was easy. Got an idea. This is a tensioner, and I wonder if I could cut a piece of this out and turn it and weld it back in there. Have the tensioner over here and move the motor down. All right, I got it hacked back in there. I think this will work good. I'm gonna let this thing cool off a little while, and then we'll set it up here. We got to put the pump back in it, and a shiv, and a sprocket, I mean. Okay, so I have forged ahead here a little bit. I will kind of give you an update. I put a lot more weld on this. This is all aluminized. You can probably tell. Makes it weld terrible, and it's poisonous to breathe the fumes it puts off. But I got this welded down pretty good. I got the chain put on it, and then the main thing I did was make this. And I've been kind of designing how I'm gonna lay all this out. I've got it figured out. We're fixing to build it. But basically, I plasma tabled this out, welded this in there, and then this thing here had a little knob in the center, a little alignment stub, and I bored this out to fit it so that this all turns true and straight. And I put a slot in it. I need to cut this bolt off, but this is what's going to engage into the spool to turn the spool. Now, what I'm going to do here is I've got this 3-inch collar that kind of fits this, albeit not that great, but it doesn't matter. We're going to weld this collar on a piece of pipe about right here. And then we're going to take this piece of tubing, it's going to go slide through the collar, and it's going to slip up onto that. Now, while we're putting this on, after the collar and everything is here, I'm going to have two pieces that you put on this. We got to have this thing. Yes, we got to torch a hole in this, put a bolt in it. It's going to be a set screw, and then you've got to have the spool hanging here by a forklift or something. So this kind of Chinese puzzles together here. And so you'll push the spool up against this, engage into that. This will be on here. It'll go up against the back of the spool with a set screw, and then this will be floating on here. You'll push this back against the collar, and it'll have that pin that goes in it. And this keeps this pipe from being able to slide out that way. It's just to just rub up against the collar. It's not going to be really the most user-friendly way to use this, but I think it'll work good enough, and I don't expect to ever need more than one spool. Okay, so it's got this drive hole here, and this is what's going to actually spin this drum. Put this on here. Gotta get a wrench to tighten that up. Piece goes up against it and jams down with a set screw, and that keeps the spool from being able to slide over. What do you think? I think it's going to work, is what I think. I got 2 hours of daylight. I'm going to go try to use it. Alright, here we are. Here's the wire. This is a nice big old 1/0 wire. I'm going to tie onto this, spool up one of these, and get enough on here that I can pull. You know, I just got staples here to staple this in. So if we don't get a few laps on here, let's pull it out of the staples. And then I'm going to pull up a little bit, and we can just wire the ends of the next wire together. At least that's what I'm thinking. Let's crank her up, see what happens. freaking working awesome. This is Sunday. Let's see, what time is it? This is Sunday at 4:30. I bought this Friday evening and I brought it home Friday night after dark. And we didn't start working on it until Saturday. We built this in 2 days. This line was 1,400 feet, so 14 times 3, it's 3,000, 4,000, that's 4,200 foot of wire. It needs some spacers. I plan on making some out of plastic to go between the piece of pipe and the spool. It won't be so rough. Well, tubers, that there is a full spool of wire. That's a full spool of wire if ever there was a full spool of wire. So we're at a different spot. Obviously there was 2 runs. Y'all saw me get the first one. This is the second one. I figured on Google Earth there was about 10,000 total feet of wire. The last piece was picked up was 1,400 feet. This was about 2,000, so it's 3 runs of 2,000 feet. I didn't get it all though. There's still 1 run on the ground, so that should have us at about 7,500 or 8,000 foot on here, something like that. I think this is bigger than number 2. Number 2 is what I like to use. A lot of people use 4. I think this may be like 1/0 or maybe number 1. I'm not for sure. But this stuff, even number 2, I think it's about 40 cents a foot or something like that. It might be higher. It's probably higher than that now. And so this is probably like $3,500 worth of wire. If it was number 2, it's probably would be more, being larger. But anyway, this is probably like, you know, at least $3,000 worth of wire, and it's not a bunch of little pieces. It's a good, you know, it's only 2 runs. And you know, you figure I just got $1,000 in the trailer. I bought $11 worth of gasoline. I had to go to Tractor Supply this morning and get a half link and a master link. So I got $1,035 or something like that. $45 if you count the McAllister sandwich this morning. And that spool of wire. Plus I got a setup to do it if I ever get any more. I'm gonna come back out here tomorrow and get that other piece. I gotta get a different spool. They told us we gotta be out of here by tomorrow, by Monday. But they said we could work in here tomorrow. I'm gonna get that 1 more run, and I got to drive around. I got a bunch of insulators and stuff thrown out. They kind of got everything they wanted out of here and basically told us we could have everything that was left if we got everything. So we pulled all the poles up and we're getting all the wire. They scrapped a whole bunch of wire. Anyway, quite a little project. 5:20. We started this yesterday morning. That's not bad for a 1 weekend. I am done. My tail is dragging. I need a weekend from a weekend. Tomorrow morning starts it all over. I appreciate y'all watching. I'm heading home, go find me some supper, maybe do some video editing, and I will catch y'all on the next one.